It's the third round of the World Championship in 2021. Welcome back to the Algarve. Welcome back to the Portuguese Grand Prix. Round 3 on the calendar, 1 to Hamilton, 1 to Verstappen. Who's going to make their break here at Portugal? It's the first of a double header, the Spanish Grand Prix next weekend before a 2-week break before we return to the glitz and glamour, the jewel in the crown, the Monaco Grand Prix on the 23rd of May. Azerbaijan is next on the 4th to the 6th of June. A week later, we were supposed to be heading off to Canada. That race now cancelled and replaced brilliantly with the Turkish Grand Prix for the second in a row. France is at the end of June at Paul Ricard before going back-to-back with Austria 2 weeks' time. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone that we now know will host the first of these dreaded sprint qualifying. After that, it's the Hungarian Grand Prix before a break for the summer, and then 3 races back-to-back in Belgium, the Netherlands and Italy before the flyaway start with Russia, Singapore, Japan, and then back to the statesides with the United States Grand Prix, Mexico City, Brazil, and then Australia on the 19th to the 21st of November. The first race in Saudi Arabia before the season rounds out in Abu Dhabi in December the 12th. In the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way by a single point to Max Verstappen, 44 to 43. Lando Norris is third on 27, Charles Leclerc fourth on 20, Valtteri Bottas is on 16, 14 for Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo the same, Sergio Perez is on 10, 6 points to Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll is on 5. On the second page, Yuki Tsunoda has 2 points, the same as Esteban Ocon. Fernando Alonso, after penalties last time out, means he too gets his first point of the season. No points on the board for Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Russell, Vettel, Schumacher, Mazepin or Latifi. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way on 60 points. They've got a 7-point advantage to Red Bull Racing, who are on 53. McLaren are on 41, Ferrari 34, AlphaTauri, the only team to move up after the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, on 8, Aston Martin on 5, 3 for Alpine, no points on the board for Alfa Romeo, Williams or Haas. Friday has come. It's time for the first hour of practice for the 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix. Let's take a look around the Algarve International Circuit in Portimao. 2.891 miles. 2 DRS zones coming into this weekend, extended down towards turn 1. 15 turns and an exciting track. Riding on board then, it's a downhill braking zone into the 3 or almost turn 1 exits. Turn 1 and 2, quick flicks to the right before the first real heavy braking spot into turn 3 at Lagos. Up the hill then to the kink at turn 4, the first left-hand corner before you really open up the taps and the DRS. Downhill to the hairpin, past the hotel. This is the Tory VIP corner, heavy on the brakes down. It'll be a second gear corner. Rise up the hill now, past the hotel on the other side. Left again at turn 6 and 7 before you come into the braking zone for turn number 8, the Samson corner. You can see the advertising boards just on the left. Uphill over the roller coaster segment of the track as you head down to turn 9, the Craig Jones corner. Flip the car to the left, rise uphill once again into Portimao, turn 10. Heavy braking spot as well into T11. Drop down the hill once again into turn 12 before my favourite part of the track, turn 13. Getting nice and stopped uphill, second gear corner, tight inside line. And now really fly it downhill. Turn 14 to the Sagres corner. And then boot it hard. Coming through the Galp corner. Turn 15. It is flat out over the bump. A dramatic drop downhill about 15 stories, believe it or not, before you climb back up over the jump almost across the finish line. And that is a lap of the Algarve circuit here at Portimao. It is a roller coaster of a track. everybody. Welcome up to the commentary box for the first practice session for the 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix. Ian Birch not with us for the first practice session. Sadly, he is feeling unwell. So you've got me only for the first session, and we're about to welcome our viewers on the radio. Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the first practice session for the 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix. Wherever you are watching in the world, thank you very much for joining us in a watch-along commentary. Whether you're watching the TV pictures or just tuning in via the radio, thank you very much for joining us around this almost roller coaster form of a track. 2.891 miles, 2 DRS zones, a total on this track of 15 corners, elevation change at 29.2 meters, but it happens an awful lot more. Formula One have raced here once before last year, and down in turn one, Lance Stroll made his efforts quite clear, making contact with Lando Norris, not once but twice over the weekend. Down in turn 5, in slippery conditions on the opening lap of the race, Valtteri Bottas slipped off. Carlos Sainz in the McLaren then took the lead of the race. And up at turn 13 as well, we saw Kimi Raikkonen on Albon do a fantastic opening lap in tricky conditions. In terms of tyre compounds here this weekend, they are the hardest we get. The hard C1, the medium is the C2, the soft is the C3. Expect to see that in operation quite a lot this weekend as well. The soft tyre, the favourite of the majority of the drivers. And it is beautiful blue sunshine all around the Algarve circuit. The Algarve International Circuit is its full name. To me and you, we know it as Portimao. Air temperature at 17 degrees. Track temperature is at 32 degrees. Humidity 43 as well. 8.2 kilometre is the wind speed. It's blowing in the northwest as well. And right now, it's good morning to Synthol, who's up in the group chat as well. But it is a solo effort up here in the commentary box at the moment, due to Ian Birch, sadly, feeling a bit unwell this morning. He's hoping to be back for free practice too. But don't worry, we will have a commentator in FP2 alongside myself, because Megan will be joining us. And today is Megan's 16th birthday. So join us for practice 2 later on today for a sort of birthday celebration going around as well. And what is going to be a little bit of snapshot of some baby photos and props. It's all very exciting as Megan comes into the box to both be celebrated and a bit humiliated as well. I'm looking forward to it as well up here. We're almost ready to go, so let's cross over. We've got 1 minute and 54 seconds, so 1 minute 50 seconds now, as you can see, before that green light goes on. Session countdown, 1:44, 1:43, so that is right up there. The countdown to green, as we're calling it. Up here, Lewis Hamilton getting ready, and of course the championship is incredibly close at the moment between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. They've both finished second once, they've both finished first once, and the points difference between them, 44 for Hamilton, 43 for Verstappen. That comes from Lewis Hamilton having that extra bonus point for the fastest lap back at the Bahrain Grand Prix when the season opened. 1 minute 12 seconds then until the green light goes on. It will be a lot of an interesting session. It's going to be mainly me talking, as Ian Birch isn't with me, as you can see. But get your questions in, get your comments in as well. I've got loads of monitors in front of me as well. And we're all set for only an hour's practice. It's not the hardest one I've ever had to do. I had to cover first practice in Styria when it was radio commentary a year ago as well. There was no in-picture vision, so that was quite tricky. Russia was difficult as well. But it gives us more time to talk about the key factors. Yes, solo, but I want to know your comments as well. It's going to be a sort of to and fro as the media goes round. Netflix already in the paddock as well. Sky Sports F1 just walking down as well with the mic booths going back to where they're going to be watching. Canal Plus watching on as well. 20 seconds until the green light goes on. There's your Constructors' Championship. Mercedes lead the way on 60 points. Red Bull 7 back on 53. McLaren, Mercedes on 41. It still is a 3-horse title fight at the moment. Even throwing Ferrari in that mix. They're P4 overall on 34 points as well. It's 8 for AlphaTauri as well as the green light goes on and the first practice session is underway. The first driver out onto the track, well, that is going to be Valtteri Bottas as well as Sergio Perez already launching out onto the track. Great to see the session already fully green as well, exactly what we needed compared to last weekend's race at Emilia Romagna as well. Where can I see the live? And please don't dare say Sky. Well, this is a watch-along, so it's radio commentary with watch-along pictures. It's on F1 TV, and unfortunately I have to say Sky, but I'm sure somebody in the group chat will help you out as well with servers and Discord links as well that go all the way around. But, yep, just a normal watch-along. It's become very popular over the past 12 months as well, which I'm delighted about. Love every single one of you who's coming to join in the box as well over pre-season testing. But we are getting ready for what's going to be an interesting weekend because after last year's in the first practice session where, believe it or not, 125 lap times were deleted across practice 1 and practice 2 due to track limits, the stewards this weekend and the race director Michael Mazzi has already come out. Oh, I'm going to interrupt myself because there's some sort of debris at pit exit. It looks like an airbox vent side pod. It's a side pod sort of system that's just come off one of the cars, and it's lying slap bang in the middle of the pit exit. And it must have come off either one of the Red Bulls of Perez or maybe Valtteri Bottas. Oh, and Pierre Gasly has to move out the way. It looks like a fan cover side pod that has been put into the middle of the track. Lewis Hamilton avoids it just coming out of the pit lane. So cars now leaving. They've run a marshal out, and this is what it was. It's coming off Carlos Sainz's car. It is indeed a fan cooler issue. It looks like it could be that. Hang on, it's from Carlos Sainz's Ferrari. We're looking at it now. And it's actually the step. It's the driver's step that Carlos Sainz uses to get into the car that has fallen off the track. And he's gone in, so the step that the driver uses to get into the car has got caught underneath the Ferrari and has been dragged into the middle of the pit lane. And already a front wing change for one of the Renaults out there at the moment. We're having a look. Well, Alonso's still in the pit lane, so it must be Esteban Ocon, who is directly behind Sainz coming out of the pit lane. So I wonder if he's run over something of the debris there. Green flags now all arriving as well, which is great news. 57 minutes to go. Getting back to my track limits point that I was making before that little yellow came out as well. I've got the track limits data in front of me here on my vast information of commentary notes. And I can tell you that the track limits will be monitored at turn 1 exit, turns 4 exit, turn 15 as well. And this is everything that it says. In general, each time any car fails to negotiate turn 1, 4 or 15's exit by using the track as described above, teams will be informed via the official messaging system, and on the third occasion of the driver doing that, they will receive a black and white flag. But if it is in qualifying or the race, or indeed in practice, that lap time will be deleted. But the curbs, that's it. The curbs this weekend as well will determine the track limits. So anybody off the curb, all four wheels off the red and white curbs this weekend, that's it, lap time gone. So that is going to be very, very close to call. Here's Callum Ilott then. Many people say he was overlooked in joining Formula 1 this year. The Formula 2 last year, second place in the championship, 3 wins. He's done two seasons in Formula 3 Euro. 2018 GP3 was third. Formula 2, 2019, 11th, runner-up last year. And now he's been announced as the Alfa Romeo second reserve driver and the Scuderia Ferrari main test driver. But Callum Ilott finally now is in Formula 1. He's alongside Robert Schwartzman in Alfa Romeo as a test and reserve driver. And this is his first Q1 appearance of the season, as he did appear last year with Haas. So great to see Callum Ilott out there on the track. Bottas has set a 1:23.778. He's gone fastest overall. Lewis Hamilton is P2 on a 1:26.016. Schumacher third at the moment on a 1:26.633. So time's just beginning to come in as well. As already Gasly's had a lap time deleted by the stewards for running over the track limits. That's how key track limits this weekend are going to be. Schumacher, as I said, P4. And you can watch it all here, as you can see, with timing alongside and everything, and full-on graphics as well. Raikkonen goes P2, 125.534. Sainz now goes second, 124.611. So already time's closing down. We have got, at the moment, 11 cars out on the track. Actually, make that a bit more, as more come over the timing screen's refresher, as they've crossed the first sector time to be registered on my monitor. And we've got a total of 16 cars out on the track at the moment. Here's Lando Norris. Lando finished third last time out at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. He qualified P2, got his lap time deleted, ended up down in P8, but then had his fantastic race, got held up by the red flag, and absolutely dominated and finished third, rightly so. He was a very quick driver. And honestly, I think that McLaren this year is going to win a race, and I think it'll be Lando Norris to win it. He is so fast, so competitive at the moment. I can't see why not. Hamilton goes back to P2, 123.872. Here's the track limits warning at turn 4. The safety car this weekend, by the way, is the Mercedes-Benz safety car. And any driver leaving the track and cutting behind the red and white curb at the exit of turn 4 will result in that lap time being validated by the stewards. And that is Carlos Sainz massively going off the track. He's not just all four wheels over the curb, he's all four wheels over the... Yeah, he's all four wheels over the Astro curb at the exit. Synthel saying, get away soon, Mr. Birch. Yep, he's doing okay. He's not in hospital or anything. It's not coronavirus. It's his own medical problems that's causing him not to feel well this morning. It was Megan's 16th birthday, so everyone was up late last night. Everyone was up early this morning, and it's just messed him up just a little bit. But he's okay. He's doing okay. Just on the phone to doctors now. As well, and hopefully he'll be fit and ready enough to join us in free practice too, alongside Megan and myself. As I tell you one thing as well, we've even got graphics now. We've got new commentator graphics that'll be at the bottom for when one of those two are in the box and they were all three. But yeah, couldn't use them this morning, so I was a bit disappointed. But 52 minutes covering by myself. Let's see how I do, actually. Oh God, track limit, says Synthel as well. Yep, that's going to be a factor this weekend. You can't go all four wheels over the red and white curb. So that is the defining limit this weekend. And they are being monitored heavily at turn 1, 4 and 15 at the exit. We're on board with Valtteri Bottas coming out of the turn 7 into turn 8, the Samsung corner. So much so, actually, that Formula 1 doesn't want Samsung involved in the sponsorship. They've actually stripped the Samsung barrier names that are at the top there. And unfortunately, the paint that they were there with are still there. So you can still see the Samsung logo. But turn 8 is Samsung. Turn 9 is Craig Jones. Of course, named after the legendary bike racer who sadly lost his life at this track. Here's Lance Stroll, 15th, 127. Leclerc goes 9th, 123.7. If you are interested this weekend, as well as we said yesterday when Megan was with me for the preview show, we will have MotoGP live this weekend once again for the 4th round of the season, the Spanish Grand Prix, as Bottas goes a 1:21.829, goes top of the board so far. But yet that'll be on at 12:30 on Sunday afternoon for all of the action. We'll also have the race commentary from the Moto E race in the build-up to the main MotoGP race, as it's only 10 minutes and it's an electric series. So it's all good. And it's only about 7 laps as well. 6 usually as well. It's always bugged me that Moto E can't be 45 minutes like we have in Formula E. They're not yet at that development, but they'll get there. They'll get there. Here's Hamilton out on the track at the moment as well. Ilott does a 1:24.476 and goes ahead of Mazepin, Stroll and Latifi. So Ilott and Mazepin aren't great friends, if you don't remember. Mazepin once punched Callum Ilott in a Parc Ferme. And these two very much hated of each other as well. And I think the feeling's mutual between everybody out there. As Leclerc goes third on a 1:22.504. Stroll goes 12th at the moment on a 1:24.396 at the moment. Synthol saying, luckily Bottas now has a better onboard camera instead of the front wing like last weekend. Yes, absolutely. Well, the front wing got destroyed last weekend, didn't it? It's a whole new car for Bottas. The £2 million crash that it was being described as by Ted Kravitz yesterday as well. Both new cars as well. And I've got the information somewhere here. For Valtteri Bottas, actually, he is still, despite that accident, on his first ICE, TC, MGUH, MGUK, ES, CE, and EX. So everything is still on its first one. Everything survived that horrific crash at Imola. Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Compared actually to George Russell, who too is on the first one. But that was given a technical delegate report going into this race. So we'll have an updated version for you if they do have to change anything coming into free practice 2. And there'll be any penalties like gearboxes, like we saw with Yuki Tsunoda having to have one as well. Congratulations must be in order to Rachel Brooks, who's commentating on her first free practice session in her Formula 1 career. Natalie Pinkham, who covered FP1 in Bahrain and Imola, isn't with the Sky Sports F1 team this weekend. Rachel Brooks is, and has gone into the commentary box in the FP1 slot. Sky doing that to create diversity as well for female journalists and commentators, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic job. I listened back in the week's gap between the two races to Sky F1's commentary from first practice with Pinkham, and absolutely fantastic commentary. Very tricky as well in that first session at Imola, after what we remembered, of course, because we were commentating at the time, all graphics were down as well. We had no driver tracker, timing was on basic as well, so yeah, absolutely great stuff. Hamilton on the radio. Hamilton saying the balance is pretty undrivable right now. And this goes back to, and the team says, copy, it looks like it's surface temperature related. It's very cool. Really, and Hamilton replies, really need to box and get on with some serious changes. Oh dear. And both Mercedes actually into the pit lane at the same time. Start stepping alongside each other. Yellow sector 2. Don't know what that's about, but we've gone green now on the track, so that's okay. And that goes back to Synthol's comment here that says, it looks kind of slippery out there. I think you're absolutely right there. Track temperature at the moment is at 33 degrees, air temperature at 17, and we're coming here in spring, in April. It is hot to you and me, 18 degrees, but air temperature, but it's still a bit chilly for Spain. The track's not used to it. I mean, this is Portugal, yeah, it's on the Algarve, same coast today, but for the Algarve and Spain, very chilly conditions across both Formula 1 and MotoGP this morning in practice. Here is Lance Stroll, P11 at the moment, rising up the hill towards turn 4. And I've got the driver tracker here alongside, actually not the driver tracker, I've got my MotoGP notes that I suppose you lot never get to see as well. These are my MotoGP notes from Portugal, which was 2 weeks ago. So all my stats and facts I have in the box that are on the wall. As this is the reason for the yellow. Charles Leclerc having a little moment down at what looked like turn 10 and 11, which is the Portimao corners. So I give you the corner names. Turn 1 is Primera. Turn 2 doesn't have a name. Turn 3 is Lagos. Turn 4 doesn't have a name. Turn 5's hairpin is Tory Vip. Turn 6 doesn't have a name, neither does Turn 7. Turn 8 is Samson. The drop down the hill to Turn 9 is Craig Jones. Up to Turn 10 and 11, which is Portimao. 12 and 13 don't have names. 14, the penultimate corner is Sargus. And Turn 15 is the Galp corner. Yep, Galp. There's the track guide look, and you can see it all there for you. It's a very fantastic track as well. And Synthol as well. I'd wish I'd known if you were free in this session. I would have dragged you up to the commentary box, and I know yourself, you want to be on the commentary team. So I wish I'd dragged you up to the box. So sorry about that. This was very last minute as well that Ian Burge decided that he couldn't make first practice as well. Sky have gone to an ad break, so I'm relying on the driver tracker at the moment as Mazepin crosses the line. Goes 15th on a 1:24.573 at the moment. Latifi's P16, 1:24.579. So time's coming through there as well. But yeah, this is a absolutely fantastic track. Neil Hodgson, a couple of weeks ago, described this place as well as a roller coaster. Can't do an accent like his, but yeah, a roller coaster track around there as well. And it is. It's fantastic. Me and Megan did the commentator challenge yesterday afternoon as well, where we do a lap attack around the track together. The fastest one wins while stuck in a gear. That's only because on this one it's Project Cars 2 will be back to the normal races next weekend for the Spanish Grand Prix, where Megan also permanently rejoins the commentary team. But yeah, did the lap attack yesterday with her, and she described it as a roller coaster off air, and I can see why. It's fantastic. You're up and down so many times. Track temperature changes wherever you are. The grip camber changes. The car balance changes mid-corner. It is a really hard, aggressive track. I love it. It's fantastic. Just realised at the moment as well that I need the live timing for the tyres out there at the moment, which wasn't on the laptop in front of me where the camera is at the moment. So Bottas out there currently on unknown tyres. We think they're the Pirelli test tyres that you can use. Sainz out there on hard tyres. Same goes for Vettel. In fact, let's be easy to tell you who isn't on the hard tyres. Everyone is on the hard tyres bar Alonso, who's on the softs, and Schumacher and Mazepin, the two Haas cars that are out there on the hard compound tyre at the moment. And 44 minutes to go of the session. We've got a number of cars out there at the moment. I think 5 cars. 6 cars out there at the moment, not there. So 14 currently circulating. Sky Sports F1, which many people saying earlier on, SO, saying, where can I watch it live? Where can I watch it live now as well? I've got the pit lane channel on another monitor, but it's 45 seconds behind the main picture. So if anything happens in 45 seconds, I'll be a bit delayed to report it back to you. But we just see the car circulating at the moment. Ocon coming across the line now and crosses. He is currently off my monitor. Where is he? Actually, Ocon's down in 20th place because he's just had his lap time deleted. So Ocon did jump up the order, but then had an immediate lap time deletion. So it kind of corrupted the results. Ricciardo goes top now. Wow! Daniel Ricciardo goes fastest on a 1:21.821. That is astounding. Ricciardo top from Bottas. That's exactly what we needed to see. There's a good news story for everybody as well. And my live timing monitor is actually way behind on one of them as well. But yeah, fantastic to see that there. So Ricciardo 1:21.821. Bottas on a 1:21.829. Verstappen third, 1:21.854. Time's coming down quicker as well as we get our live pictures back up here in the commentary box from Sky F1. Which is fantastic news. Hello to Ribosome as well. Welcome along. And Max Verstappen across the board. His first time, as I said, a 1:21.854. And that is a strong time. Of course, the championship protagonists, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Verstappen dominated the last race at Emilia-Romagna. Hamilton dominated in Bahrain. The question is, who's got the advantage here? Well, historically, this track, as I said, over the previous 17 Portuguese Grand Prix we've had, it is very well known that it is a British driver dominance around this track as well. From the 17 winners we've had, from the 17 Grand Prix we've had here previously, 12 winners. Prost and Mansell share the record for the most wins. They've all got 3. Moss has taken victory twice as well, but British drivers have won on 8 occasions, including 3 times in the last 4 Portuguese Grand Prix. France is the only other nation with multiple victories at this event as well. So there you have it. As we see Max Verstappen now on a replay, coming down the hill into turn, is that 14 at Sargas? Yes, it is. Little rear twitching as well down the hill. Having to control it, just a snag out there, but looking good. Have you seen the new sprint race format? Yes, I have. And that reminds me of a fact that I was going to bring in as well. We'll talk more about this afternoon when Ian Birch and Megan Birch join me for practice 2. Well, maybe just Megan, of course. And if Dad is ill for the whole weekend as well, then we might have to get emergency broadcasters in. Megan might have to remove herself from punditry and come in and do the commentary with me as well. But yeah, let's talk about the new sprint race format, actually, because it is very important. And now, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. This is the sprint race format for the whole weekend. On Friday, we will have, in the morning, the usual first practice session. In the afternoon, we will have the traditional 3-segment qualifying session. But all drivers are only allowed to use the soft compound tyre. Then that grid at the end of qualifying will determine the running order for Saturday's sprint qualifying race. But on Saturday morning, we will have free practice 2. Saturday afternoon will be replaced with the all-controversial 100-kilometre sprint qualifying race. Now, that is at Silverstone, which is the first event that has officially announced it. That will be around about a 17-lap race, 100 kilometres, around about half an hour of pure racing. There is no mandatory pit stop, which means that the drivers can start on any tyre compound they like, hard, medium or soft. It does not matter. At the end of that 100-kilometre sprint qualifying and the checker flag falls, the person on top, so the driver finishes first, will get 3 points. The driver finishing second gets 2, and the driver finishing third gets 1 point. They will also be 1, 2, 3 on the grid. So the sprint qualifying determines the grid for the main race on Sunday. Sunday is unaffected. Same rules. Full distance race over 300 kilometres. Mandatory pit stops. They must use 2 tyre compounds as well. And then full points awarded as well. So that is really the issue. The fact is that we're going to have a sprint qualifying race. I've said I'm open to seeing it, but I don't like the idea of it because it's going to create so many factors that are going to be unbelievable. So I want to know, what's your opinions, watching this stream, what's your opinions of sprint qualifying? Let me know in the YouTube chat below, the live chat, and I'll talk to them directly. I've got it up on the monitor, so let me know, what do you think of sprint qualifying? I don't like the idea, but I'm open to seeing what it could do. And I think that's it. That's what we can announce from that. First official race for sprint qualifying will be the British Grand Prix at Silverstone on the 14th, 15th and 16th of July. Currently, I am looking into trying to get down to that event. So Megan and Dad will be here in the commentary box, and then in a separate camera bubble on the box, I will be broadcasting from the track on Friday, which means I'll bring you free practice 1 and qualifying from the track itself in sort of like a Ted Kravitz role, doing the commentary from the track. But that is looking incredibly unlikely, I'd like to point out, due to the COVID restrictions that don't allow media in. But right now, it's a possibility. So that could be something to look forward to. If not, I'll be here in the commentary box. I've got no problem with that. Talking to everybody more easily, and probably be a lot smoother because I can control the stream compared to Megan. So yeah, let's go through at the moment then. Enough of sprint qualifying. We'll talk about more of that this afternoon in FP2. Synthol says, this track is awesome. I absolutely love it. I think, Synthol, were you watching the MotoGP race here last time out at Portimao? It is a great track indeed. MotoGP love it. Formula 1 love it. And I can't believe it's not on the track going forward. Back to sprint qualifying. Ribosome says, I think this could work very well at, for example, Monza, where qualifying is always pretty chaotic. But a track like Monaco, this makes no sense, I think. You're absolutely right. This is going to benefit Monza, where we usually have all that slipstream effect for qualifying, which I find exciting. But I do agree that it's going to help at tracks like Monza. It's not going to help at tracks like Monaco. That needs the current format. Qualifying is the most exciting of the Monaco weekend, arguably, because you get all tracks out, all the cars out on the track, going full throttle, and whoever makes a mistake, you're starting right down at the back of the grid weekend over. It's not going to work at Monaco. I think Monza is actually the second race confirmed at the moment. We're waiting for confirmation on that, but the rumour is Monza is the second race where this sprint qualifying will be tested. So we'll see your point, Ribosome, if it works out. The third race, I think, is rumoured to either be the United States Grand Prix or the Japanese Grand Prix, but I don't think they would risk it doing it at the United States Grand Prix, because we all remember the last time a farcical happened in America with Formula 1, don't we all? The 6-car race. Oh, I shudder just thinking about it, to be fair. That was a horrible day. It was entertaining broadcasting, entertaining to watch, but yeah, definitely could have had more. Synthol says, I don't understand the hate for sprint races. It's only for 3 races and they're still qualifying on a Friday. The hate for it is mainly because this is looking to replace the main qualifying format for 2022 and beyond. And the main hate for it is the fact is that there is points on offer. If it was, and the crash damage as well, the cost caps, there's a load of features around it that means that sprint qualifying is a bad idea. Say a driver crashes in sprint qualifying and the car can't be repaired for the race because half the field gets wiped out in sprint qualifying, like we saw at Mugello. Who's going to pay for all that? It's not part of the budget cap. Who's going to repair the cars? What's the qualifying order then? Do we go on Friday or do we go on Saturday? It makes zero sense. It's going to create drama. And of course, we then get to, and Synthel says, no, I'm pretty sure next year this will be gone. Yeah, I think the teams have only allowed it this year at 3 races to test it and say we've done it. It's not going to be allowed permanently. But also, what we've also seen is the issue. If Hamilton or Verstappen win the title on points determined by the sprint race, that is going to really be salt in the wound to people. That's what I don't like. And that's what I don't like either. It's messing with the fabric of the legitimacy of the championship. So, yeah. Riberzone says, also, the fact that qualifying has moved to Friday is annoying. People work and are at school on Friday. Absolutely agree with you. If it wasn't Megan's final year in year 11, she would miss qualifying for the British Grand Prix. And she's obviously going to be joining us from mid-May because she would leave school by then. She'll join us in that gap before going to Franklin. But, yeah, so it's going to be a problem there was the fact that Megan was also saying, like, why are they moving to Friday? The big grip of qualifying for younger fans is that it's full-blown quali laps, and that's happening now on a Friday? No. The idea is that they'll grip the people with race on Saturday as Verstappen locks up down at turn 3 at Lagos, gets the car pointed the right way with a quick brake stop and a quick maximum turn of the steering angle, gets it back on the track. But yeah, honestly, don't think this is going to work out much longer, as this is Sebastian Vettel coming to the pit lane with a radio message. Oh dear, and Sebastian Vettel has pulled in, I think, to the Ferrari garage. It is, yeah. So, oh dear, so Sebastian Vettel's just come on the radio saying, well, it's bound to happen at some point, and he's just stopped his car in the Ferrari garage. Well, I've seen Button do that as well. I've seen Hamilton do it. And now Sebastian Vettel's done it. He's stopped in the Ferrari garage and saying it was bound to happen at some point. Yes, absolutely. Synthel says, I think it's just going to be for this season, to be honest. Agree with you there. They get 50k extra for sprint races, right? That's the current thing, but we're not too sure because the cost cap's in effect. So they're waiting for confirmation on that for crash damage. And Synthel says, it's fun for 3 races. I agree. It's fun for 3 races. I'm a bit annoyed they've chosen the British Grand Prix as the first race because that's Bethlehem for Formula 1 fans. That is the birthplace of the sport. Don't mess with the DNA of the sport where it was born. So I'm a bit angry at that, can you tell? And then also, I think there's the factor that we're going to see a couple more races interfered with it and maybe one in the States as well. And it's just got to be careful. I think Brazil is currently on the question mark as well. Riberzone says, I watched a video about this. They're saying it was going to be like a 400-kilometre race with a 24 red flag period in between. Yeah, that seems to be what it is. 100 kilometres on the Saturday, 306 kilometres on the Sunday, and basically with a 24-hour red flag between. Because all sprint qualifying does is give us the running order. It just gives us the race part 1, because it's going to be the same result. So the sprint race, determines the grid for the main race, but they're not reversing the grid format. They're just letting them all go round and round and round, and then start the race again with the same cars. It doesn't make sense. Now we have 2 races on Silverstone. We did last year, to be fair, and that worked out all right. But, I don't know, there's something about the British Grand Prix. I mean, it's fun. You watch practice 1 and 2 on the Friday, you get, oh, here we go, there's something brewing here. Saturday, practice 3, it's all, oh, here we go. Then we get qualifying. It's like, yes, look at that. Verstappen's just taken pole in front of Hamilton. Hamilton's on pole for his home race. All that drama. Sunday, you're buzzing. Honestly, last year, when we broadcast the British Grand Prix live, the first live watch-along we did all weekend as well, I was so excited. Up in the commentary box, I was giving it all. The British Grand Prix is go and all that lot of action at Silverstone. I was loving it, and then the sprint race happened, and I was like, ugh. Doesn't really make sense. We'll see how it looks, though. I'm open to try it. Let's try it. I want to know your opinion still. Keep coming them in as well. But yeah, sprint qualifying currently confirmed at the British Grand Prix, rumoured to be at the Italian Grand Prix, and a race in the States, either it's America, Mexico, or Brazil, or even Japan, I've heard. So yeah, we're having to clamp down on that. Another factor coming into this weekend as well that I talked about yesterday in the previous show with Megan, and it was in the, if you were very careful, you might have seen it on the clip intros, which I know there's a graphical error. There's 2 graphical errors on the stream entrance. I know they'll be fixed for tomorrow. Don't worry. But what happened was as well, we've now lost the Canadian Grand Prix, and I'm very, very sad about that because I absolutely love the Canadian Grand Prix. It is one of my favourite races of the year. It's a unique track round the casino. It's got a lovely feel to it. It's got a lovely, unique feel to racing there at Montreal on the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And I love that track. I absolutely love it. And I'm heartbroken it's not going to be on here again this year. But Verstappen on the radio. Verstappen saying that on every other lap coming into turn 2, I lose the rear of the car. And he's on hard tyres as well, so that's not looking great there for Verstappen. But yeah, so back to Canada. Heartbroken it's not going to be on. Really am. It's the first track I go to play in the F1 2020 game. And certainly every year it comes as well. I'm heartbroken it's not going to be there. And I know it's been replaced by the Turkish Grand Prix, which is going to be a great race. Last year's was chaotic. But the track surface hasn't been changed in Turkey. It's going to be slippery in the dry anyway. Turkey's going to be a great race to watch. But heartbroken we're not getting a race in Montreal again. Positive is they've signed 2 more years. So they get these 2 races back they've lost, which is good. And Verstappen's looking quick here, actually, in the first sector, but he's gone slowest of all in the second. So yeah, qualifying gone. Sorry, Canada gone. Overall, we'll see how that happens as well going forward. That's the first one officially cancelled as well and been replaced by Turkey. We have got other tracks as well on standby. Mugello and the Nürburgring are on standby to come in on the track on the calendar as well if more races fall off. Rumour is at the moment, if I get to my challenge sheet here, which has disappeared somewhere along my long notes. There we go. Looks like at the moment that the French Grand Prix might be held behind closed doors as well. Let's have a look then. Well, Portugal's going ahead, so Spain. Monaco's definitely going ahead. We've had the historic race. Azerbaijan is going ahead. Canada's off and replaced by Turkey. The French Grand Prix is ahead. Austria, Britain, Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Russia. Russia's under a bit of a at the moment. Singapore might be replaced with the Nürburgring. Japan, if we can't race there, will be replaced with Mugello as well. Mugello in October. Oh, gold. As well. Oh, dear. And according to Synthol, the Dutch commentator has got COVID. Oh, dear. And it says, please not. I really hope he'll commentate. Oh, well, I'm really sorry to hear that. So my condolences as well to everybody as well. That's a horrible system to go through as well. So, yeah, I do feel... oh, dear. Well, don't worry, Synthol. You can always put us over the commentary stream as well, over the race. That's what we're here for. So if the Dutch commentator has got COVID, you're welcome to stick us on alongside as well, mate, for a permanent commentary team, and we'll do our best to fill his big shoes and his big shirts. Very vibrant personality, the Dutch commentator. And I just received a tweet here at the moment that I must read quickly. And if anybody's been watching the social media blackout, which I completely respect and completely agree with. But unfortunately, before I knew this was happening, there are auto tweets going out on my account on Twitter over the weekend that I can't delete. So it's the automatic tweets as Mazepin over the radio saying, "What the bleep is he doing?" And that is to Schumacher, his own teammate. Schumacher has just compromised Mazepin on a lap time, and Mazepin is really, really angry. Well, you know my opinion on that. Back to that, so back to the social media blackout that's happening in the UK, with several broadcasters as well and journalists blacking out social media from 3 o'clock today until 12:59 on Monday, PM that is. I didn't know about this until this morning, and unfortunately, as I said, there's Twitter auto tweets going out. And I can't cancel them because they're the links to the races that go out as well. But I won't tweet anything else over the weekend as well, and I'll still put Instagram on until 3 o'clock, then nothing after that as well. But yeah, so a media blackout is happening, and it's for the right reasons. However, the tweet I got that reminded me of that is the fact that this is what's been happening at the moment. So this is from the BBC. The BBC cannot take part in the campaign. We have special duties that don't apply to other organisations under our Royal Charter and editorial guidelines that prevent us from joining lobbying campaigns, no matter how worthy the cause. So I think I agree with the BBC there that they should remain neutral in this. They are a government broadcaster. But at least an acknowledgement of that is something. Formula One have also acknowledged the media blackout, but have said that while they respect it, they have commitments with other countries around the world, which means they must still tweet. That's right. But the English drivers at the moment of Lewis Hamilton, George Russell and Lando Norris have all said that they are going to respect the media blackout. So are Sky Sports F1 and so are BT Sport. So if you're watching anything of those two over the weekend, there'll be no Twitter action there, unfortunately, over the blackout. But obviously, we can't stop all social media because YouTube is a form of social media, and that's how I get paid. So do you really think I'm going to stop broadcasting practice 1, 2, and 3 and qualifying the race? No. So yeah, no tweeting. But absolutely respect the cause as well, and it's been something that's been going around quite a lot actually over the past couple of days as well, with Lewis Hamilton saying he's coming out and saying he's not gonna he's going to respect the blackout as well, and calling out Formula One to do the same. Formula One have responded, we can't. We're a global campaign. Social media is global. It's been a massive fight over that as well, but it's all been kicked off by the English Premier League as well, who's done this as well, which for the right reasons as well, as part of their End Hate campaign, End Racism campaign, and it's fully behind that as well. Sainz has gone P4 at the moment on a 1:28.71, but Valtteri Bottas has just gone top on a 1:20.221. Verstappen is second. He's less than a tenth off at the moment, 0.097, as Mazepin locks up big time on the inside front and runs a little bit off the track coming into Lagos at turn 3. Every time I say Lagos, I want to say Interlagos. Like the track in Brazil at Sao Paulo, but no. And Perez locks up down into turn 5 at the Torrey VIP corner. Goes straight on as well. And yeah, kept on the curb out of turn 4, but down to turn 5, the braking zone, and locks up the inside front tyre. Oh dear. Russell P9, 1:21.137. Russell looking to make it back into qualifying 2 once again this weekend. Last time out at Emilia-Romagna, both Williamses qualified into Q2 for the first time since Hungary last year. So really strong performances in that team at the moment. Really strong and absolutely fantastic from the Williams performance at the moment. It's been a bit of a quiet session at the moment, hasn't it? As Ricciardo being told it was quite a good lap overall. Shame about the snap at the last corner. Mazepin's had his time deleted for track limits at turn 4, so he's dropped down now to P20 overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars in the pit lane at the moment. 13 out on the track. We're watching Mazepin. He's out there on 7-lap-old soft tyres at the moment. And he's just going around the circuit. See, that's why taking a drink with only one commentator is so tricky. There's a bit of dead air that you have to fill as well. But if anyone's watching, anybody wondering and who's a regular on this channel who knows about the apple juice, there it is. Nice apple juice up in the commentary box as always. Mazepin stays 20th, 1:23.520. No current time on the board though at the moment. And looking at the board with 20 minutes to go, 40 minutes down Ocon's going to pit as Mazepin down at Tory VIP. What's he done at the exit? Has he spun? No, he's completely missed the exit of turn 5 at the Tory VIP. He accelerated and he's got all 4 wheels off the line and has just sort of driven on and said, okay, going to lose that lap time. Not great there. Here's Yuki Tsunoda. Knew everything after his crash in the first race. In the second race, sorry, at Emilia-Romagna. Crashed out in Q1. So he's got new everything coming into this weekend. And Tsunoda stays P17 on the board. 19 minutes and 36 seconds to go at the moment. And cars now coming back into the pit lane for the end of their first run. A reminder that for the first 40 minutes of practice, Pirelli give you a free set of tyres to use. That 40 minutes has now expired, which is why we're seeing several cars coming into the pit lane. Now they have to go onto their actual set of tyres. And coming into this weekend, it is a complete... it's the same across the board. Every driver gets exactly the same allocation. They get 2 hard compounds, 3 medium, and 8 soft. Additionally, they get 4 inters and 3 wets as well. But the likelihood of needing them this weekend is extremely low for what we've been seeing previously. Callum Ilott now, P18, coming across the line and goes 16th on the 122.316. A great time there for Callum. British drivers, Hamilton is 3rd. Norris is down in 19th. Russell is 9th. And then we get, of course, Callum Ilott down in 16th place. British commentator, I'm allowed to be a little bit biased. Synthol says, Ziggo said that their team has corona or something, and the Dutch commentator responded with the caption, well, 2021, F1 and COVID. Oh, dear. So some of the Ziggo team have corona. That's not great at all. They're a popular broadcaster as well. So that's horrible to hear. Gasly goes P6 at the moment on a 120.862. Of course, Ziggo, the only broadcaster in the paddock, bar the Australian broadcasters, of course. But the Dutch commentators are allowed to swear 24/7. We try and maintain with clean language here on the YouTube channel. We don't mind it, though, if we swear accidentally. But we do try and keep a clean language commentary stream as well. Never stopped Dad, though, back at Bahrain. Never stopped me, actually, in pre-season testing, accidentally swearing. Megan caught me by surprise in one of the races that we did, and it was a little bit of a end-of situation at the line. Raikkonen, 13th at the moment. Russell, still P10 and going quicker. Latifi on the radio saying that other cars are doing several other systems, and George Russell rockets up to 3rd place ahead of Hamilton, and that's caught the Williams guys by surprise. It was a 1:25.29. Bottas does a 1:19.648, goes top, but George Russell amazes everybody in the first practice session and goes P3. That Williams that's an impressive run. Russell's out there on brand new soft tyres though. But still, to be within a second of Bottas, both of them were flat out on that lap time. That is very, very impressive. Great from Russell. Sky F1 go to an ad break. I look back to my other monitors, which is really an issue at the moment. And F1 on Sky Sports as well. Now just gone for a break. They've got a new sponsor, actually, which has caught me by surprise watching it. So, cars coming back into the pit lane. Only Bottas... actually, let's go through. We've got Norris, Alonso, Raikkonen, Ilott, Russell, Bottas, Gasly and Tsunoda. So that's 8 cars out on the track at the moment with 16 minutes to go. And hopefully we are still broadcasting to you. Yes, we are. Little glitch in the systems there. I was commentating for 45 minutes without a proper drink is really hard, so do excuse me for just a second. So, looking at the board, track temperature is down from what it was at 33, remember. It's now at 31. Air temperature still at 18 degrees. And that is really going to harm them, actually, out there. They're going to get no reliable data I mean, it is now 1:14 over there in Portugal. The session's getting under... Sorry, no, it's 12:14, of course. Same time zone as here in the UK. I forgot about that. So, yeah, it's 12:14 in the UK. It's 12:14 in Portugal as well. So, it's mid-after... It's top of the hour, at noon. The sun's going to be right above the track. And the highest we've got is air temperature 18 degrees, track temperature 31. That's not good enough. I'd love to see the conditions for tomorrow, actually, on the handy weather app we've got on mobile devices these days. Tomorrow, air temperature will be at 19 degrees. Sunday, it will be at 21 degrees. So Sunday will be warmer by 3 degrees. If you were a driver, would you see free practice 1 as more of a, oh God, I'm not good here, I'm not going to be good all weekend, or would you see it as, it's only FP1, this is a test session? Love to get your input on that, actually, as well, as we throw them over to the fans. Anybody wondering why I'm commentating on my own? Ian Birch, who was supposed to be in the commentary box for this session, has been taken under the weather. Hopefully he'll be okay for free practice 2. Either that or Megan will be joining me in FP2 as well. So don't worry, it won't just be me all weekend. It's just me for the first practice session. I'm doing what Ben Edwards did back in China all those years ago when the BBC started showing practice on terrestrial channels. He was stuck in the commentary box on his own for the first 3 sessions as well. So I don't envy Ben there as well at all. But let's go forward as Hamilton is back out on the track. Bottas has come into the pit lane. Verstappen is out there now in a brand new set of soft tyres. Pierre Gasly now goes P3 on a 1:20.444. Great time there from Gasly, keeping it up. Exactly what he needs to do. We will run through the order at some point as well. So don't worry. I mean, I know you can see the order right here alongside me on the screen, but for those of you listening to the broadcast and listening on the radio as well, we'll go through one by one at the time. So, it is Valtteri Bottas on top on a 1:19.648. Then it's Max Verstappen in P2. Pierre Gasly is third. 4th place for George Russell. Lewis Hamilton 5th at the moment, but has got more times to come. He's just put on a brand new set of soft tyres and he's coming out of turn 15, the Galp corner now, to set a time. So, let's see Hamilton's on-board time then, and strap yourselves in. Let's go for a ride lap. Down towards turn 1. He's still warming his tyres a little bit with the DRS open. Drop downhill, about 18 metres drop down. Through turn 1 and 2, it sweeps in, a quick flick, of course. Double right, and then a third right into Lagos. Off goes, hey, into Lagos. I didn't even mean to do that. That was brilliant. Verstappen saying that these tyres are already vibrating. He can't get grip into them. He's been on those tyres for a lap. That must be an old message. That must be an old message because Verstappen has just come in to put on new tyres. He's on brand new soft tyres. Okay, so that's an interesting situation to watch there. And Karun Chandhok, not with the Sky F1 team over in Portugal. He's back in London at the moment because he covered the Formula E race in Spain last weekend. So is locked down. Verstappen on the radio again. Verstappen locked up, actually, on the inside front. And he said, this is an absolute joke. I can't even see where I'm going. The vibration is so bad. And for Max saying that the fillings will be loose when he's finished. Max really angry out there at the moment. More frustration, I would rephrase that, than anger. But he's got to go out. He's only done 1 lap and already the tyres are gone. That's not good. We're riding with Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion. All 4 wheels on that curb there, the exit of turn 4. We'll see if he loses the lap. He's 6,000 off the pace of Bottas at the moment as he drops down into the left-hander of Tory Vip's second gear. Rise up now, up the hill towards Samson. Quick flick again, double right as well. Drop down from 6th gear all the way to 4th gear, 62 miles an hour. Over the crest as you drop down 29.8 metres to Craig Jones at turn 9. A flat out left-hander. Rise uphill again into Portimao, turn 10 and 11. Drop down again about 20 metres. Pull back up immediately as well on a roller coaster feeling as you're coming towards turn 13. Put the power down at the exit now. Round turn 14 as well, the Saga's corner. Little bit of power. 4th gear, full throttle now at the exit. Rise up. 5th gear, 6th gear. Over 150 miles an hour as you pull 7th gear. 170 out the last corner. Gallop up now towards the line. Jump over the hill as well as you cross the control line. Hamilton stays third on he's 3 seconds off the pace. But at the moment, Max Verstappen is P2, fastest first sector. Fastest second, Verstappen stays second, 1:19.673. He is now 2 100ths off, that's it. 0.025 separate Bottas and Verstappen at the moment on the ball. That is an impressive time. Bottas, who Megan said yesterday in the preview show, has to come out fighting this weekend to get his title back on track. He certainly is coming out fighting. He's topping FP1. Verstappen said that time, but I've got a feeling he can go quicker because he's just said over the radio it's impossible to drive, mate. So the suspension is vibrating a lot, actually. So Pirelli must not have balanced those tyres or something or other because they look unbalanced as well a lot. And yeah, that soft tyre set. They've only completed 3 laps for Verstappen. Looking trouble at the moment. And it is flat spotted big time. It's starting to grain as well. So the flat spot was a big one. And as you go around and round and round, the tyre begins to oscillate as well. And it sort of merges the flat spot into the sideline of the tyre. And it's then that you start getting the cut deeps as well. It's really hard, like a nail dragging along as well. You know, you can feel that minor irritation. You can feel that as a driver. The wheel starts to feel unbalanced. You go for the brakes, it's not there. And it just keeps cutting down and down and down. It's really not nice. So a flat spot on the tyre becomes a grain. It is horrible. Imagine licking an ice cream round and you can see you never quite get it completely round because it keeps going in and in on itself. That's what it's like. And Mr. Whippy, obviously. Or Mrs. Whippy. I don't know what they're called these days. Would it just be a Whippy? I'm not up on the latest one with that, actually. I must have a look. Charles Leclerc, P7 at the moment. Personal best first sector. Personal best second sector. And goes third. So Leclerc, 120.181. 5/10 off the pace of Bottas and Verstappen. So that is amazing. Leclerc 3, 120.181. Time zone's coming nicely here, actually. 7 minutes to go in this first practice session. And there's Leclerc. That's very much on delay there on Ferrari's gantry. I suppose it gives the cameramen a chance to react to them. Pirelli just said more and more drivers going out on the soft tyres. They are 18 drivers out there on the softs. The only 2 who aren't are George Russell, who's on the hards now on 2-lap old hard tyres, and Fernando Alonso in the Alpine is doing 10 laps at the moment on those tyres. Ocon crosses the line, stays 16th at the moment, 2.6 seconds off his own best time at the moment, so he's got time to gain there later. As we watch Carlos Sainz on board now. 4 extra winglets now on the front there of the Ferrari. There was 3! Locks it up! Goes a little bit wide off the track as well. Coming down into the Saga's corner at turn 14. Gets it back on the track though, so the yellow flag immediately comes back in. But lap time gone there for Carlos Sainz. Schumacher asking if I was on high fuel or low fuel. And he's asking now as well what Mazepin's doing. Mazepin's explaining, so Schumacher's explaining over the radio that Mazepin didn't know if he was on a long fuel run or a short fuel run. So he was apologising for getting in his way. There's Sainz going off the track. I'm having a bit of deja vu in my ears at the moment because I've got One Team Radio going and I've got Ted Kravitz talking in my ear as well at the moment. Because Ian Birch isn't with me in the box, he's not hearing what I'm hearing, obviously, but I've got the Sky F1 channel going in my ear as well in case I miss any information. So I'm talking while also hearing them. It's a very interesting skill you pick up as a broadcaster. The ability to talk while also listening is very good. As Lando Norris comes over the line, stays P10. And Ted is understanding that it's actually a wheel weight, try saying that when you're drunk, that is missing on Verstappen's tyre. And that is what is causing the excessive vibration. So it's not balanced. So the wheel weight, it's only a little tiny thing as well, that can be missing to unsettle the tyres. It's not properly set, and bang. That's what's causing the issue for Verstappen. He locked up, unsettled tyre, locked up. Now the vibration's causing it horrible. He's back in the pit lane, actually, so that's why Ted knows. Hamilton is 10th of a second off his own time from Bottas there, so he's got time to gain back. 4 minutes 38 left of the session before checkered flag will come out. And for those of you who are keeping across whether Nikita Mazepin has spun or not in this session, no, he has not. So he's got further than he did last time out at Emilia-Romagna. Hamilton goes third now, 1:19.967. That's a decent time. I have a feeling that this morning's session isn't really representative to what we've seen before. I think FP2 is going to be more representative. I honestly do. I can't see why the times are this jumbled at the moment. So yeah, it probably, and here's Perez, look, fighting the car. Perez fighting massively into turn 14 at Sargas, coming through turn 15 at Galp. And up the line now, Perez was 12th, goes 5th, 1:20.375 on the board. So 3:34 to go, dropping down on that time zone now. Just having a look at on several monitors we've got here as well, trying to figure out systems as well. Bottas, Hamilton, Leclerc, Perez, Gasly, Russell, Sainz, Ocon out there too. First sector time looking good actually. Sainz P8 improves on time, not position. 1:20.680. And Hamilton saying, was that it or can I go again? Yes, I can go again, he's been told. Wow, look at this. Bottas, 27 laps completed at the moment. Hamilton, 28. I think he's the most out there. He is. Hamilton has done the most laps out there at the moment of anybody, 28. Rybazan says, yeah, we'll need to wait for qualifying to see if Red Bull or Mercedes is faster. Yep, absolutely agree with you there, Rybazan. It looks like that is going to be the key factor. Don't think we're going to know the due pace across all 3 practice sessions. Is this a call for super qualifying? Or sprint qualifying, whatever it's called. Of course, in between this race and in the last one, we had the football breakaway almost with the Super League. I very much enjoyed looking at that. Charles Leclerc held up by Lewis Hamilton into the last corner, and Leclerc putting out a hand out the cockpit saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? But Leclerc wasn't close enough to get past anyway, so the Hamilton was right to determine that line. 2 minutes to go of the session. Sunshine has finally broken through the, I want to say cloud cover, but there has been a bit of cloud cover here at the circuit. But beautiful sunshine now, baking the track on the start-finish straight. That's exactly what we need. Actually, the air temperature's just dropped from 18 to 17, saying that. Come on. Track temperature's risen now to 34. Come on, let's get the sun out. We're now watching the safety car at turn 1. Any driver leaving the track and cutting behind the red and white curb at the exit at turn 1 will have their lap time deleted. And this is why, as well, Fernando Alonso running all 4 wheels off that line. And has had his lap time deleted as well. And I believe Nikita Mazepin also, as we watch him on board into turn 1. Yes, he very much off the track there. One minute 6 to go. Coming into the last minute then of practice. We'll have a quick off as well. So you can all get back to your day. Thanks everyone for joining us for first practice. We are back later for free practice 2. 2:50 we get underway for that one. The session starts at 3. Hamilton is going for a last lap bonanza. First sector is a 22.861. Second sector 30.1192. Maybe not as quick as we thought it would be. Perez goes P3. 119.846 across the line. Hamilton's dropped 2 tenths. It looks like he's out of that one then. Hamilton's done 29 laps, the same as Valtteri Bottas at the moment. And here's Hamilton out to the line. Maybe he's going to go for something out there, but the checker flag's coming out in 8 seconds' time anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Checkered flag is out. Hamilton crosses the line. Does get another lap time in the end. But Lando Norris is coming now. Bad second sector. Great first sector, personal best. Leclerc, fastest third sector. Leclerc goes fourth. 119.884. Quicker than Hamilton on the line. Bottas ends the session on top. Sainz goes 8th. Leclerc definitely 4th. Schumacher 18th. Latifi 19th. Mazepin 20th. Norris now goes P8 on the board. Very good stuff. Gasly 6th. Sainz 9th. Verstappen goes 2nd. Alonso 14th. Ocon 10th. Checker flags coming out then at the end of the session. And Vettel, at the moment, is down in 16th place. Vettel in 16th when Stroll is 11th. Aston Martin having a baptism of fire at the moment. Oh, dear. I just had a sit back on the radio. Yuki Tsunoda, his engineer, said on the radio, yeah, just keep pushing, Yuki. He came over the radio screaming, I am. That took me back by surprise there. Tsunoda strikes me as a very angry driver in the car as well. He's the sweetest guy you could ever meet, but very angry when he gets behind the wheel at the moment. Callum Ilott changing over tyres. So Callum Ilott now, in his first session as reserve driver for Alfa Romeo, goes P17 on a 121.806. Very decent time. And this is how it looks at the moment. So Russell's P7 goes across now, coming out of Tory VIP. This is how the session has ended. It has ended with Valtteri Bottas the fastest on a 119.648, followed then by Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton. Then we get Pierre Gasly, George Russell, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon rounds out the top 10. Lance Stroll is 11th, Danny Ricciardo 12th, Yuki Tsunoda 13th, Fernando Alonso is 14th, Kimi Raikkonen 15th, 16th for Sebastian Vettel, 17th for Callum Ilott, 18th for Mick Schumacher. Nicholas Latifi goes into P19 and Nikita Mazepin takes 20th place on that board. Well, that has been the first practice session here for this weekend's race. We'll fade back up. Oh, look, there I am. There's the title card for me. That's who I am, as the driver's now coming back through. Synthil says, what time is the MotoGP? Well, for MotoGP, the practice getting underway right now on your local broadcasters. We will cover the race live. That gets underway Sunday at 12:30 for our build-up coverage as well. We'll also have coverage for you of the Moto E race in that build-up. The drivers doing their practice starts on the grid to let go because it's so different down pit exit here. Mazepin again, too many mistakes. Yeah, a couple of mistakes for Mazepin there. Let's hope Mazepin will have a clean race on Sunday. Absolutely. But it was an interesting one, that one. A very good session overall as they go through here. Viberson says, thank you for commentating. Thank you for joining as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. To solo commentate as well has been quite hard on my throat as well. But yeah. 12:30 British time. Yes, it will. You can follow and set reminders for all of the upcoming live streams for this weekend. They are all available now. If you go onto the YouTube channel, go to upcoming live streams, you can set reminders for yourself, and that will be in your local time zone as well. So set those reminders and you get the alert 5 minutes before we start broadcasting, and then exactly when we start broadcasting. There's your session results just coming on now as well. And FP2 will start at 3 o'clock British Standard Time, right? Yes, it will. 3 o'clock British Standard Time, we will all start. They'll all in the reminders as well on the YouTube channel. Go set them as well and be prepared for them. So, thank you for commentating, seeing if you're ours. Yeah, thank you indeed for joining me. To everybody as well, Ian Birchall, touch wood. I've got a wooden table alongside me in the commentary box. Will be joining me for free practice too. If not, definitely Megan joins us for FP2 as we celebrate her birthday today as well. And I'm looking forward to the embarrassing stuff we've got ready for her. But that was an interesting first session. Don't think we're going to know a lot more. We'll mainly, I think, find out what's going to happen in FP2 when everyone does their race round. FP2 is always exciting. We've seen that a lot this year. Thanks for your company for FP1. We'll be back at 2:50 British Summer Time for FP2. Go on the YouTube channel and set your reminders. It is Valtteri Bottas striking first blood, though, here at the Portuguese Grand Prix. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.